This episode is brought to you by 180 Markets, where it is our goal to bring every individual, fund manager, family office, or any qualified investor access to Australian Stock Exchange capital raises. If you are ever interested in how to access ASX capital raises in a super simple way, 180 Markets is for you. The sign-up process is easy. You just upload your ID, proof of your investor status, and your current brokerage account information. The settlement of shares goes right into your existing account, and you can access our very next capital raise. If you're interested in free, easy access to thousands of ASX capital raises, including placements, IPOs, reverse takeovers, and more, check out 180markets.com.au. Welcome, yet another edition of 18 Minutes with 180 Markets. Friends, there's a saying that the riches are in the niches. And that is certainly the case in life and in business as well. You find your little niche and you go. But what if I were to tell you that that niche, it actually could be a lot bigger than you would think, and the growth rate could be much higher than you think? That certainly would be an interesting story and an interesting investment case. And that's exactly what we have today. We have Beam Communications, and we're joined by Managing Director Michael Capocchi. And he's going to talk about his company, Beam, how they are in a niche that is growing rapidly, and the business is already having operating cash flow. Enough with me. Michael, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Greg. Thanks a lot for having me on 180 Markets. Appreciate the opportunity.
No problem at all, Michael. Hey, Michael, can you just tell us in a couple of minutes a little bit about your story? How did you get to where you are today?
Sure. I've been in the satellite communications business for almost 25 years. I joined the Satcom space when Iridium was actually first launching back in the late 90s, when it was part of a Motorola and Kyocera conglomerate, to bring global satellite communications from pole to pole. Now, it was a pretty exciting time back then, and satellite communications have come a long way. Since my involvement with Iridium, I've been with Beam Communications now for almost 20 years. And we've been an integral part of growing Iridium's business, bringing many new products to market, being innovative in many new solutions that's given them the ability to focus on specific market applications. And we've done products that we've developed under the Beam brand. We've done products that we've done under Iridium's brand, which is the Iridium Go product, which has been a successful product for us and still in the market today. And we've built an extremely good global distribution network of key partners that provide and distribute our products globally. And these include the likes of Telstra, KDDI in Japan, Singtel Optus, and many of the largest satellite communication operators throughout the world. We've also, been lucky enough to be manufacturing equipment for 3 of the 4 largest mobile satellite service operators, being Iridium, Inmarsat, over this time. So, we're very pleased about where we are today. And, what I'd like to do is share a little video with you about sort of, where Beam is, the things that we've done, and, through today, just give you a bit of an understanding of one of the most exciting things we've done of recent times, and that's called Zolio. And I'll go into a lot more detail on that as well. So I'll just play this little video for you now. And okay, so that gives you a bit of a good insight into Beam Communications and all the areas and markets that we're involved in, and many of the products that we've brought to the global satellite communications market today. Just a bit of a snapshot on the company. We are a world leader in developing and innovating satellite communications products that involve mobile and Wi-Fi technology. We do portable devices, handheld devices, devices that go into vehicles, trains, buses, etc. So it's quite a wide market application that we have. We target a large and growing niche markets for travelers, adventure seekers, rural residents and remote lone workers throughout the world. We've got a very good successful track record, as you can see, being a very strong strategic partner of 3 of the 4 largest satellite network operators. And we're obviously dealing with, quite reputable distribution channels, as I explained earlier. One of the most important things we've added to the business of recent times through the launch of Zolio, that is recurring revenues. So the Zolio business is based on a subscription service whereby we sell a product to a customer, and that customer takes on board a service, and we're building that subscription base, very heavily at the moment, and focused on continuing to grow that market to obviously capitalize on that very important part of the business. Just a little snapshot on the company. Market cap as of the 26th of July was just over $17.5 million. We've got $4.6 million cash in the bank. And the share price range, you can see there sort of pre-COVID, we're up at nearly 40 cents. And the lowest being at about 15 cents. So, a lot of opportunity there for us as we have recovered, in post-COVID. And the opportunities that we have there, definitely provide some scope for further growth. Number of shares on issue was just over 75 million shares.
Hey, Michael, what exactly is Zolio?
That's a good question, Greg. This is Zolio right here. It's a very portable, very ruggedized satellite communicator that gives you the ability to communicate, sending messages, generating an SOS, getting weather updates, sending your position location either manually or automatically anywhere on Earth. This connects to your smartphone or it operates standalone, but basically using the Iridium network from pole to pole, so long as I can see the sky, I can communicate with people. So, Zolio sells in Australia for $345. That's being sold on Amazon, through Australia Post, through Anaconda, and a lot of dedicated dealers throughout Australia. And similarly in North America, it's selling through Cabela's, REI, MEC, and Amazon. So we've built a very good distribution channel in a short space of time. Zolio, as I've explained and spoken a lot about, provides some very good opportunities for growth. And that's the driver of our recurring revenues, is the subscription service tied to that device and tied to the application that runs on your smartphone.
Absolutely. And it could also be life-saving if you're stuck somewhere you don't want to be.
Absolutely.
And also, Michael, I alluded to earlier in the introduction about being a niche market, but also a niche market that has expansion possibilities. Can you just define the market for viewers, please?
Sure. I mean, the market itself is reasonably large in the scheme of things. If you look at sort of where we fill the void, is that we fill the void where there's no cellular coverage. And, there's somewhere around, 78% of the world's landmass has no cellular coverage. So there's a lot of people venture into. Australia is a classic example of that. Australia is just over 20% cellular coverage. So there's a lot of people that live and work in places where very easily they're outside of cellular coverage. And there's some key markets, such as the boating industry in Australia, where you've got, it's a, nearly $8 billion business. There's 2 million boat licenses. There's 1.3 million boats. And there's 10,000 new boats bought annually. Caravan industry, very similar, $2.5 billion industry. There's 300,000 caravans, 300,000 camper trailers, and 150,000 RVs in Australia. So there's some pretty big numbers there for a country the size of Australia, not to mention the opportunities globally for some of the products that we develop. And obviously, post-COVID, people are still very much traveling locally, keeping within their own country. So the opportunity in the outdoor space, we're very much enjoying the success that comes from people spending more time outdoors. And those markets, cover into the hiking industry. And obviously, as I said, the people that live on rural farms, rural properties, or just live in a town where very easily they can drive and end up in areas where there's no cellular coverage. Not to mention the market opportunities that, also exist, whereby, areas that suffer from whether it be floods or fires or hurricanes or just somewhere where there's a lack of cellular coverage for some disaster reason, the products that we design, the Iridium network is extremely robust and continues to work at times where nothing else works. And I think that's the most important thing, that, it's one of the most robust networks there is in the world. People rely heavily on satellite communications for day-to-day out of cellular range, but also in the event of an emergency. And, at the end of the day, if you're stuck in a difficult situation, so long as you can see the sky, Iridium gives you the ability to make a telephone call, send a text message, and let people know that, that you're safe.
Yeah.
That market continues to grow for Iridium. I guess Iridium is reporting, some very strong growth in the personal communications market. Iridium as a company has continued to grow significantly. All of their results are public, and you can see that for yourself. But the personal communications market, which we're specifically in, our Zolio product, as well as the Iridium Go product, which is a beam developed product that Iridium sell globally. The opportunities for growth in those markets, I guess, coming home. And, we've spent a lot of years developing these sort of products, and Iridium is really seeing the benefit with people spending a lot more time in the outdoors, and not to mention the bushfires, wildfires, flooding, hurricanes. That is also a key driver for this product. So that's that's an important part of this as well.
Yeah, and also, Mike, I suppose as an investor, it's really exciting to see the size of that market, to see the size of your market cap then comparatively so small, but you are in operating cash flow. So it really seems like a fantastic opportunity. Michael, another question. We understand the consumer uses pretty well. If you're going traveling, going to see the country, want to spend 6 months on the road in an RV or something of that nature. But are there other applications as well, other areas of growth, I guess, structurally for the market?
There sure is. I mean, I didn't talk about the opportunities within government and enterprise, and they are some very big opportunities, as you can imagine. I guess looking at it on a global basis, emergency services, transport, oil and gas, utilities is, a very big market. The agriculture market, long haul and heavy transport. In the Australian market alone, there's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of workers in specific verticals that apply specifically to, the need for satellite communications, whether that be lone worker applications or whether it's, emergency communications, or whether it's just having some redundant communications. And, a lot of these workers end up in environments which, obviously don't have any cellular coverage. And having something that's portable or mobile gives them the ability to be able to communicate. So, the ability for us to capitalize on these markets, these are markets, particularly for our Zolio product, that we haven't focused on at this point in time. COVID's been tough for us to get out and visit a lot of these customers and present to them the Zolio opportunities. So that's just around the corner for us. Predominantly, we're focused on the consumer market. So this is something that we see as being, really good for our upside. And as I said, that's purely looking at the Australian market, but the global market is very big with regards to, satellite communications in these government and enterprise opportunities.
Yeah, and would you, as an investor, would you expect should we look out in the next 12 to 18 months for an expansion into these other distribution channels, if you will?
Correct. I mean, what we're looking at the moment for the Zolio product, the Zolio product today is only sold in Australia, Canada, and the USA. We are literally launching New Zealand next week. And, the bigger opportunities for us is Europe. So we're planning to launch in Europe early of 22. We're investing a lot of money right there to get all the systems and infrastructure in place, all the integration to support mobile numbers in those areas, as well as looking at how we actually target the correct distribution to ensure we get the best coverage. So, Europe is a very important market for us. Under the Beams territory, we also have parts of Asia. So we've got China and Japan, which are on our agenda for some time in 22. And we see really good opportunity. Iridium does very good business in these parts of the world. Our ability to capitalize off their success, a very robust network, and all the reviews that we've had to date on the Zolio product, really put us in very good stead to be able to expand into these markets.
Yeah, excellent. And again, I alluded to your market cap. to your operating cash flow, and to the growth opportunities. Can you just go into your financial statements a little bit more, because it does seem like such a great proposition at these levels?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question. You know, I get asked all the time, how is it that your market cap is less, less or about the same as the revenues? You know, we continue to invest very heavily in research and development, you know, through our strategic relationships, both with our joint venture structure with Zolio, plus also our long-term relationship with Iridium. We continue to invest very heavily in developing new products. You know, Iridium spent, nearly $3 billion putting a new satellite constellation into space. We were fortunate enough to be chosen as a partner to develop new products for Iridium for that. Obviously, all of our existing products are forwards compatible, but the opportunity for us to be building, new products and to continue to invest in those provides some very good opportunities for growth. We did a capital raising last year to ensure we had the funding to launch Zolio into new markets, to bring Zolio to market in Australia and New Zealand initially, to continue to invest in the development of these Iridium products. We really believe that, the results will come, in the very short time. Obviously, we're in reporting season at the moment, where, we're very positive about where we've ended up for the year. We've recovered extremely well from the COVID situation in the second half of 21. And we're very, we're very confident with where things are actually at. So, the opportunities that are ahead of us, the cash position that we have, and the expansion plans, we think the financials will stack up, and then the share price will obviously follow in due course. It is important to know, I've spoken a lot about Zolio, but there is an underlying business in all of our legacy products, whether that be the Iridium Go or all of our terminals that we've got for Inmarsat or Iridium as well. We also have an online business called Satphone Shop, which is predominantly focused in Australia, which is a very important distribution channel for us in bringing products to market. And that's starting to deliver quite considerable revenues and provide some very good upside and growth for us as well.
Again, it just seems like such a mispriced opportunity, I would say. As you said to you, that when you look at your revenue number, look at the growth potential, and also, can you just, before we get to closing remarks, just talk about Iridium? That I don't think investors quite understand. Getting into that network is not easy. There is a significant barrier to entry that, frankly, Beam enjoys at this point in time. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I mean, Iridium manages an extremely good and controlled ecosystem of partners. We've been one of those partners, as I said, for almost 20 years. So that holds to Iridium as world's first, which haven't been in the market previously, and a lot of innovation. And, our opportunities to work with such a high-profile NASDAQ-listed company is obviously extremely good. The major benefit, and I guess, something people don't understand, is unlike cellular networks where anyone can buy a module off, eBay or Alibaba and build a product, in order to build a satellite product for Iridium or one of the other satellite network operators, you have to have a relationship with them. You need to put a business case forward to how you're going to develop this product, the sort of markets that you're going to address, and the distribution strategy you have to bring those products to market. So we've had a lot of success in doing that. As I said, the Iridium Go product is one that we did, directly for Iridium, and that's been extremely good for them. Zolio is our latest launch in conjunction with our joint venture partner in Canada. So, Iridium really is a very solid base of, opportunities for us to continue to deliver, mainly because of our expertise, because of our global distribution, because of the relationships that we've built with their key partners throughout the world. And, I think the results that Iridium's seeing, Iridium replacing its whole satellite network, very recently, shows that it's got years of life ahead of it. That's what's seen our underlying Iridium products that we've been manufacturing for years gain a whole new lease of life. So, we think we hold a very good opportunity with Iridium, and we see the upside of the new products that we'll bring to market next year running on their higher speed network.
Excellent. Hey, Michael, we have to keep these interviews unfortunately short. Do you have any closing remarks for the audience?
I think my closing remarks is I think there is a really good opportunity here. I mean, this is a company that's flown below the radar for a long period of time. We are operating on a global level. You know, our Zolio product is operating against companies, you know, like Garmin, which is a $25 billion company. We're operating in growth markets where, you know, the personal communication market continues to grow. And I think, you know, being an Australian company, we design all of our products in Australia, and the legacy of product that we have, our relationship with some of the carriers throughout the world, with likes of Telstra and KDDI. You know, I think the opportunities ahead of us as we continue to bring Zolio into new markets, as we piggyback off Iridium's latest network and their technologies and the products that we have to complement that, plus the recurring revenues, fundamentally change where this business has been. So, you know, I think over time, the share price will obviously reflect on what we've done and what we've set out to achieve. But, you know, I think the proof will be in the pudding in the short term.
Excellent. Michael, thank you very much, and we look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks for the opportunity, Greg. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching another presentation by 180 Markets. Don't forget, if you want access to thousands of ASX capital raises, head on over to 180markets.com.au, sign up, and get on board for our very next capital raise. Thanks for watching.